Yo, 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 what's going on, world? Kman and Gorbachev back with NFL playoff editions.
Yeah.
Get it. Crazy week 17, wild bowl season. How you doing, Mr. Kman?
I'm doing all right. Getting ready for the playoffs, starting up real soon.
Few hours, it looks like.
Yeah,
5-6 hours.
Saturday morning here. And
I want to give a quick shout out to our new sponsor, Dunkin' Donuts. Thank you for sponsoring this week's podcast. Great iced coffees and caramel macchiatos, and you can get a new Dunkin' for $249.99 plus tax.
didn't they change the name to Dunkin'?
Dunkin' Donuts.
I thought they got rid of the donuts, but what do I know?
They sell Munchkins, donuts, whatever you like.
They still sell donuts. I was talking about their name. But let's move on to
500 locations in the United States and Canada. Participating locations may not be not apply. Okay. So, playoffs are back.
Yeah, they are. Yep.
Couple good matchups this week.
Yeah.
And
it's a good playoffs. I think it's really wide open. I think a lot of these teams can really beat any team can really beat any team for the most part in the playoffs.
Yeah, especially in this weekend's games, I think a lot of these games are coin flips.
Yeah, I think
any of them could really win.
I wouldn't be shocked with any result in any game this weekend, really.
I agree.
But
so that being said, we only have 4 games as opposed to the usual 15 or 16. So should be a shorter, quicker podcast. So I guess let's get right into it.
Yep.
What's the first game on the agenda?
First game we got here today, 4:30. We got the Colts at Texans, a nice third matchup between the two.
Rivals, third game of the year.
Nice little split the first 2 games. And what'd you have?
Well, I wanted to say I heard that. So interestingly, the Colts have won the 9 of their last 10 games going into this matchup. And Houston had that 10-game winning streak, which started with them beating the Colts.
Yeah, it's both teams have been very hot the last half of the season, really.
Yeah.
What did you have?
I said this was tough. I could have seen either team being favored. I went with the home team, Houston, giving a .5, -1.5.
Good. I had Houston -2.5. I thought, again, same lines as you, pretty similar thoughts. That just giving the home team a point or 2. And I thought it should be under 3 because I thought it was pretty even.
They weren't going to make that 3.
No, yeah. And so, yeah, the line now is Houston -1. So
what did it open at?
I think it opened around 2.5. Let me take a look. But I've heard a lot everywhere I've heard, everyone loves the Colts, which I initially, before anything this week, if it was when it opened at 2.5, I was thinking I like the Colts because I think it's kind of a toss-up. But I'm thinking people are kind of just writing off Houston and like saying they're not going to win. They're at home, like it opened at 2.5, I think.
Yeah, people are kind of writing them off a little bit.
They are. I mean, and I think we both have liked the Colts a little bit more than the Texans even this year. But I'm not liking how popular a pick they are. They're very, very. I feel like they're very popular. I think people seem to think they're like the best bet of the week from what I've heard, at least. So I'm not going completely based off.
Just because it's so hard to fade Andrew Luck. He's so goddamn good.
Yeah. You want to hear another fun stat I heard?
And smart, and he just doesn't make mistakes. But if the Texans can get pressure on them in the front 7 and get a few sacks and the unsackable Luck goes down, I think the Texans could actually win this pretty easily if their defense like steps up and keeps Luck in check. And I think they're not getting enough love.
I agree, and I think I like Houston. I think I like Indy in general. I think they're very young. I think they don't have any experience really besides like luck in the playoffs.
Well,
I,
Deshaun
I
Watson doesn't have any playoff experience either.
I know, but Deshaun Watson hasn't lost a game by more than a touchdown since high school.
I know, and he
That's
steps up
crazy.
on the big
That
stage
is
too.
mind
Like
blowing.
the national championship games, he's played in like big games and
Yes,
like under
that
pressure.
was the point I was going to make. He doesn't have experience in the NFL playoffs, but he has obviously played in big stages before. He's played in national championships. So I don't know. I think they're very even, and I'm just if it's pretty much a toss up -1, if I take the home team, and I think they're close enough. I think the Colts are getting a little bit too much love from everyone. I do like them a lot though. And I just think they're a little young and inexperienced. Like a lot of their best players, especially on defense, their line, it's pretty new. There are like a lot of rookies on there, so I wouldn't be shocked if Houston pulled this game out at home. And I think I'd pick them, even though we have been very high in the Colts, talking about how we wanted them to get it.
Banged up, but my issue is that the Colts offense is obviously better, but like the Texans, I don't know if they can really run the ball. The Colts don't really run the ball great either, but they still have Marlon Mack and like
I think both teams are
Wilkins.
right.
They have playmakers, but like Lamar Miller just like so mediocre.
Yeah, I know, but they've had decent games. I'm not.
Hopkins is like unreal. He's probably one of the best.
Hopkins is the best receiver in the playoffs. I think Hopkins might be the best receiver in the league. He's so underrated.
Other than Hopkins, who else is Deshaun Watson really throwing to? A couple like Kiki Kuti, like
Kuti's back. He's been good this year. I mean, obviously he's not proven or anything, but they have. I mean, he spreads it around, and they've made do with. I mean, first of all, if you have if you have DeAndre Hopkins, you can just throw the ball up. I mean, he'll make crazy catches. That guy's unbelievable. But
I also just saw the injury report. Darius Leonard is questionable.
Oh, that would hurt a lot. I didn't know that. But either way, I think he'll play. I mean, unless he's like seriously hurt. I didn't hear anything where he wasn't, so I'm gonna assume he's playing. I just think the Colts are on the way up. I think
hurt his ankle
in a tough road game here. I didn't they win in Houston last like week 14 or whatever it was. It's going to be tough to win in that building twice. I think
Houston, Colts won 24-21. So that's
Houston, like a close game. I think Houston is just a little bit like everyone's kind of writing them off. I think they win this game at home.
I kind of agree. I initially was thinking the Colts, but the more I think about it, I kind of like Houston here.
Same thing with me. I think we both were initially because we both like the Colts, and I was thinking like if you give me two, or give me if that got up to 3, obviously it wasn't going to because everyone's already pounding the Colts at +1. So if it was at 3 though, I think it'll be a close game. I'd take the points there, but since it's pretty much a toss up, I think I'd go a little contrarian here and take Houston. I think they're not as popular a pick as the Colts this week.
The problem with that is that if there's one quarterback in the league I hate fading other than Brady, it's like Andrew Luck.
I don't like doing it either. But I mean, Houston has a good overall team. It's been quietly solid. They don't really have a lot of. Their only weakness, I'd say, is Deshaun Watson's the most sacked quarterback in the league. So they have not blocked. They have not pass protected very well.
I also would give the coaching edge possibly to the Colts with.
Yeah, I like Frank Reich, but Bill O'Brien's all right. He's fine. I don't have a problem with him either. I think my biggest issue with the Houston pick, which I guess I kind of was on the Colts initially, but I think that Houston's the pick now. Is like I was saying, Luck's the best protected quarterback. Deshaun Watson is the least protected, so that's not great.
Colts defense, I think, has been pretty decent getting after the quarterback.
Both defenses are solid. Oh, getting to the quarterback, yeah. Yeah, I mean, so is J.J. Watt, Clowney. I mean, Houston has some pass rushers, so if they can get pressure on Luck, which has not been easy to do this year with how good that line's been, I think that they're going to win. So yeah, that's a big. I agree. That's one of the keys there. If Watt and Clowney and that pass rush versus that line,
we're kind of in agreement. I guess the one thing I'd monitor is Darius Leonard and some other defensive injuries.
I mean, we already like Houston, but if Darius Leonard's out, that's definitely good.
I
Especially,
don't know why no one. It seems like no one's really talking about that. I haven't really heard it.
yeah, I didn't even know he was.
Definitely playing. I just saw on the online he was questionable with an ankle injury.
All right, let's.
All right, what's the next game?
I don't even see anything about him being hurt here, but whatever. Next game we got later today, the night game Saturday. We got the Seahawks at Cowboys. Another good game.
Right, in Dallas. This is also another rematch from the regular season. They played week 3.
In Seattle, right?
Yeah, but they were very different teams back then.
Different teams, and they're also much different road versus. Like Seattle's a much better home team, so I wouldn't put crazy amount of stock into it. But yeah, I think Seattle won, right?
I think Seattle won, and Dallas definitely didn't have Amari Cooper then.
Yeah, and they also Dallas at the beginning of the year, everyone thought they sucked. Like people were not huge on Dallas, and like they got hot. They had that. They got Cooper. They got hot, and people have kind of grown on them a lot since like the middle of the year.
So I had similar thoughts on this game as I did the last game.
Agree. I had almost the exact same thoughts, but go ahead.
Yeah, I knew Dallas would be favored. I didn't think it would be as high as 3, but I didn't think it would be as low as 1.
Agree.
So I had Dallas -2.5.
I had the same thing. The first 2 games, I was thinking the exact same thing. Cannot be 3. Home team should get a point or 2. Really, that's kind of what I was thinking. So I had Dallas -2.5 as well, and it's -2 now. So
yeah, and opened at 2.5. I just saw.
Yeah, I think both these opened at 2.5, and people seem to be on both underdogs from what I've seen with line movements and from what I've heard and throughout the week.
I was actually thinking if this was the same as the first game, I don't know who. I think Seattle is actually if both lines were 3, I think Seattle would be more attractive as a 3-point dog than the Colts. I don't know. It was like I could see. I don't know. They both were like
they're both 3. I mean, people are already taking them under 3. So if they were +3, I think I would probably have even taken the dogs. Just I think they're close games. But
yeah, there's no way they could have both been 3.
The fact that it's moving down, both of these are close. And I've seen the Dallas game. I've seen them both get down to around 1. Dallas has been obviously now it's at 2, but I've seen it kind of up and down throughout the week. I saw it get down near -1 as well at some points. So it's a pretty similar field type game to the first one, and I'm a little more torn on this. I do like Seattle. I think they're a much better home team. So I think, Dallas lost that first game, and they're a different team now. I think I like them at home here.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
They have a lot of because Garrett still hasn't won a playoff game. So there's a lot of pressure on him for this.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. The only thing
I think Dallas's defense is better than Seattle's.
And I think a big key. I think where this is played is a huge key because I think Dallas is first of all Dak at home is a lot better. He's a very bad road quarterback. He's solid at home. I do think Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll can go on the road. They obviously have the experience and like they're good enough that you'd prefer that combo to Garrett and Dak. But I think as a team, I think Dallas again has a little better defense. Dallas has that better running game. Even though I really like Chris Carson a lot. Obviously Zeke's one, and that line is better. But I do like Chris Carson, and I think Seattle's run game has improved a lot. I don't think Seattle's as good on the road. That's really the key. They're not as good a road team. I think it'll be close. I think Dallas pulls out a win.
It's also kind of tough. Another quarterback that's hard to fade is Russell Wilson because he is just
that's what I was saying.
And I feel like I would rather. I know they have Zeke. I know they have Amari Cooper, but I don't know if I would trust Dak even at home with Jason Garrett. And I just feel more comfortable that Russell Wilson's going to pull it out. And if the Seattle defense can shut down Zeke and just force Dak to make throws and have them beat the Seahawks, then I think that's the game they want to play.
It's definitely the game they want to play. Anyone playing Dallas.
Teams run the ball like 31, want to run the ball like 30, 40 times a game. Like Zeke had like 40 touches I saw like 2 weeks ago. And Carson runs it like 30 times a game.
Yeah, Seattle's runs it more than anyone, and Dallas has Zeke and wants to run it more than anyone. So it's two grinded out teams. It should be a pretty lower scoring kind of game, I think. You think they're going to kind of try to grind it out, like we said, and both defenses are solid. I think Dallas is a better overall D. I think Bobby Wagner's phenomenal on Seattle though, so it should be. I don't love this. I think I like Houston a little more, but I think Dallas. I don't know. I think at home they win here. I think people are on again. I think people are on Seattle, and I think Seattle is a better home team. They're just
they're a better home team. I just think at the end of the day, I wish that you were getting 3, but even getting 2, I feel like by the end of the game, Russ Wilson's going to make more plays. The defense will get a few more stops than Dallas will get, possibly. Or even if they both get stops, I think just Russ will pull something out and win the game for them. But I don't feel confident about that at all, and I could easily see Dallas winning this game by like 7 or 10 points also.
Dallas is 7-1 at home this year. They have been. Dak has been. I'm not a huge Dak fan. I don't think he's that good.
Was that one loss they had when Garrett went for on like 4th down on like the other 30-yard line?
It was against the Titans. It was that I think I had Dallas too, and I was really pissed. No, I don't remember.
No, that was against Houston in overtime.
No, their one loss was they played at Texans. They lost by 3. Their one loss at home was at home off the bye week at home against the Titans.
Yeah, the Monday night game, right?
And yeah, they were kind of I don't know. They played terrible that game. I remember it. But still, besides that, they've been great at home. I just think, like I said, I think Seattle isn't as good a road team. I think Dallas has been really good at home, and I think everyone's kind of looking at it, and they're kind of looking at it like, oh, I can get Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll against Dak, who I see, and Garrett. Looking at that, yes, it seems like Seattle getting some points is nice. I just think that, and I think it's a little bit too popular. It's very similar feel to the first game to me. I think that both home teams are a little I think it's pretty much both are close to toss-ups. I think I'd take the home team. Again, the Dallas game got down to around 1, so that it's who knows where it ends up. Right now it's at 2, but if they're both near toss-ups, I think I'd take both home teams, like I said.
Yeah, I could see that. Just for fun, what's the the total's probably pretty low in the Dallas game. I would say like 42, 43.
43, I believe.
43. Yeah.
It opened at 40. Yeah, it's
for as good as those defenses are, they both have very capable offenses. So if they abandon the run for some reason or the defenses aren't showing up, that game could go over by like
but those are two things I'd be shocked. Neither of these teams really abandon the run unless they're down huge. Obviously, then you got to throw. But I also wouldn't want you'd be in trouble if you're abandoning the run in this game.
If they break a 50-yard run, or it's not just as grind them out as we think it's going to be. It could.
I don't think since it's a low number. I don't think it's an easy pick. I think 43 and a half, which I'm seeing right now. I think I'd lean under, but I don't love it. I don't feel that strongly about the total.
Looking at all the games, there's some good defenses playing today. Baltimore, Chargers, Dallas.
Yeah.
Just all defense.
A lot of these are very good. I think
dead. Everyone was saying after the Rams-Chiefs game, like, oh, defense is dead. Like, it's going to be 50-point games. Like, defenses are definitely not dead. There's a lot of good defenses still.
Well, obviously the 4 teams with buys are like 4 of the best offenses in the league, though. So,
today's game, there's a lot of good defenses.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
I will say just quickly, not just about the week in general. All the totals are very low except for that Colts-Texans. It's near 48. The rest are in the 41 to 43 range. So it's a lot of low 40s. And then I think the Texans game, people seem to think is going to be higher scoring. I just wanted to call that out in case.
Expectations for defensive and low-scoring football.
For the most part. Yep. All right. So I think, that's the first 2 games. All the games this week are very good, I think. The first Sunday game we have is rematch of that week 15. I don't even know. The Chargers at Ravens.
Yeah, this is a weird one because the Ravens are a higher seed, but the Chargers had a better record. Is that right?
Yes.
So
The Ravens kicked the shit out of the Chargers in LA.
So based on record alone, not seeding, I made the Chargers, and with revenge, I made the Chargers a small favorite.
I don't disagree, but I didn't. But go. What'd you have?
I said the Chargers are -2, 2-point favorites.
You're a little off here. I agree. I think the Chargers are a little better, and I agree that seeing Lamar Jackson is a huge advantage. Like I think in that second half they started to stop him a little more. There were a couple long plays that are a little fluky, but their D, I think playing them, even if they lost, I think playing them was a big help for this game right here. I had the Baltimore -1.5. I thought it was pretty much a pick 'em because Baltimore's at home. They did play them very
They're
well.
at home, and okay.
So that's what I had. It's -3 Baltimore.
Baltimore's -3.
And I thought the Chargers would be a very popular pick, but the line's not even. It's not moving to the Chargers at all. Like it seems like people think Baltimore. I'm kind of shocked by everything.
I mean, I know Lamar Jackson's been good, but I don't know how you make him a 3-point favorite against Rivers.
I agree completely. I think the first game that they played, I think it could not have gone any worse for LA and could not have got any better for Baltimore. And it was close enough at the end where there was a fumble by Gates that ended the game, like a fumble 6 that they were going down to like within range to tie it. So, I mean, the game did not go well if you had the Chargers, which I did. But
it looks like they were 2.5-point favorites and they moved up to 3.
Yeah, and that's my point. Is people seem to be on Baltimore. I thought the Chargers would be a very popular pick because they were so good all year. They're maybe the most balanced team overall. I will say Rivers has struggled the last 3 or 4 weeks. He had been like an MVP candidate. He's been a little bit down, but he still had a great year, and I still trust him. He's been in the league for a while, and he's been solid for a while. I think getting 3 points. How do you not take the Chargers here? I think they have revenge.
Hunter Henry might play.
Yeah, again, that helps, but he's also, you don't know what to expect. He hasn't played all year. It's kind of tough coming.
He's a big piece on offense if he does play, but.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I mean, you have Gordon, you have Eckler coming in as a change of pace, you have Keenan, you have a couple other pieces that are all right. So I just think the Chargers are a little like, again, I think that first playing Jackson, they're so hard to prepare for because no one does anything like them in the league. So the fact that they saw them 3 weeks ago, whatever it was, is a huge help. And I think I think they win. I think I take the money line, honestly. I don't think it's like a lock or anything, but I think that they're a little bit better than Baltimore overall. I think Baltimore's been very good with Jackson, obviously, but it's hard to sustain and win when you can't, like, he's not a great thrower of the ball. Yeah. So
Brandon Mebane's out, which could be a big piece of their defense. But, I agree. I think the Chargers could easily win this game. But, again, the Ravens' defense is, like, far and away the best in the league. So that has to matter for something.
It does, but I think I'm
also still agreeing that I still can't, even though they're at home, I don't 100% trust Lamar Jackson.
Agree, and I think obviously
playoff games.
The Ravens defense is really good, but the Chargers defense is not that far behind them. They have a really good defense.
I know they do. I just don't. So I don't know why this isn't closer to like a -1 or -1.5.
Mebane's been out for like months. Mebane tore his biceps a while ago, so it's nothing new. Like they've been playing without him for a while.
Oh, because I saw the 1-4. He was dealing with a personal matter. Okay.
No, he's been out for. I mean, they've been all right. He's good. It was not a. They've lost a few guys on D, but they've still been solid on D.
The only problem with the Chargers is like Eckler's probably going to miss the game. Melvin Gordon's still kind of banged up.
I think Melvin he's played the last few weeks. I think if he wasn't,
he's not 100% healthy.
I think he's been back for a few weeks. I don't think he's like. I wouldn't consider him hurt anymore. Maybe he wasn't playing great.
He's run for 41 yards and 42 yards the last 2 games.
All right, yeah, so he might not have been healthy for them. But it's been 3 weeks and he's been playing. I wouldn't say he's still hurt. I mean, he might be, but if he was at all hurt, I don't know why they'd play him in almost in a random like Week 17 game that the Chiefs were up 50. They weren't going to win the 1 seed there, so it's not like they needed him for that.
Right.
I don't know. Again, I think this might be my favorite play of the week. I think the Chargers getting 3 is too many, and I think that they can win. I think both of those are possibilities.
You don't want to just don't overthink it. You're getting 3 points with a really good
And
team.
it's a little sketchy to me that it's not moving down, because doesn't this seem like the Chargers they have the better record. They've been really good all year. And people have been talking about how they might be the best team in the league. I mean, maybe that's not true, but they definitely are at least in the conversation. So they were really good all year, I think. And I don't think
too. They have their revenge here.
And I don't think playing on the roads is a big a deal for them, because they don't have a great home field anyway. They probably play 16 games on the road pretty much.
It does look like, from what I'm seeing on covers, 65% is on the Chargers. So that
I'd expect that. I'd expect that.
Yeah.
But it's not moving, which is kind of weird, you know? It's moved maybe even to Baltimore. It's pretty much 2.5, 3 I've seen, and 3 is great, which is what we're at now. So I'd lock that in. I mean, obviously a little sketchy, but what are you going to do? I wouldn't overthink it. I think you're getting 3. It should be a close game. I don't see a blowout. I mean, even last game was close until the last second. They had a defensive score. So
first road team you like?
Yep. This last game, I don't even know what I think. But
this one's another good game, but tough one. We got the Eagles at the Bears.
Yeah. Tough game. I've been back and forth on this. What'd you have?
What's your line?
My line, I had the Bears -6.
Yeah, I was a little lower. I thought they would be -5, kind of like more in the Vegas zone.
Yeah, I thought it had to be under 7, but I think it should be near that, just because how good Chicago's been lately, and they're at home. Hard not to make them at least over 3. This is the only one I thought had to be over 3.
Yeah, this is somewhat of a mismatch, I guess, but the
Eagles have been playing better since Nick Foles came in. They seem to trust the team kind of rallies around it. Like they do, like he's won it before for them, so they obviously believe in him.
The Bears though are still kind of underrated. Like no one's really giving them the credit of like.
I love the Bears.
Great. No one's giving them credit of being like one of the better teams in the league.
They are, and I don't get how they were 6-point dogs against them. It blows my mind. Like they're so good. Like
they weren't playing for anything really.
They still kicked the shit out of them, and they were. I mean,
really trying.
So they kicked the shit out of the Vikings without trying. I mean, I think they're definitely better than them.
Covered the last 4. Eagles have covered the last 3. So something's got to give here.
Yeah, I mean, this is one I think for the first 3 games I feel decently strong about them. This one I really don't, because I really think Chicago is a really good team. I think they win this game. I'm just hesitant to take a young team, a first-year coach, or Trubisky, a young quarterback who has never played in the playoffs, against the Eagles' experience. They won the Super Bowl last year. I think it could be I think it's a lower scoring game. I think both Ds are playing really well. I guess I'd take 6 points. I don't feel strongly about it, though. I just think it's a tighter kind of game. I could also see Chicago kicking the shit out of them. They're really good, and they're at home.
I think Chicago just winning by a touchdown or more is in the higher range of outcomes for this game. And also Nick Foles is a little banged up.
I mean, he's all right. It was bruised ribs.
Healthy, but he's not healthy, but he's not 100%.
I wouldn't worry about his injury personally, but I mean, yeah, it's something.
But also, like, the Eagles have no running game. The Bears.
It's all right. I mean, Adams been decent.
I just think they're going to be pumped up, prepared, home game. They got a lot of momentum. The Bears will look great this year. They're just going to welcome in the Super Bowl champs and just smash them.
They could. I mean, I don't think it's going to be that high scoring a game. So I don't want to lay near a touchdown. So I'm a little hesitant to do it. I do think the Bears win, like I said, and I think it'll be around 6, right around what is it, 6.5? I think it'll be near that. I think that's why this one's the toughest one of the games for me. That I've been back and forth on, and I do think the Bears can kick the shit out of them. Do you think it's possible the Eagles win the game? That's my question.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely possible. I don't think it's really likely, but they could do it. They snuck into the playoffs. They have some momentum. They're playing
again like they were last year. Difference is they were at home throughout the playoffs, and no one believed in them last year. Now they're on the road in the playoffs, but they do have the experience. Have
this year. Games. People kind of believe in them because they did it last year.
I do think Peterson, I think since he's won, he has a little more leeway. I think he's gonna call a more relaxed game, like Nagy in his first year. I feel like there's a little more
all the pressure's on the Bears because this is their home game, and the Eagles basically limped into the playoffs, so they're kind of playing with house money. Yeah. And usually when that happens, you have a team taking shots and
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I could see the Eagles kind of playing really loose because they've been there. They've won last year. They don't have as much pressure, and I could see it staying close. And I still think the Bears are just better, so I think they pull it out. I just think it's a tighter game. So that's whenever and another thing is if I'm really torn on a game and I'm back and forth, generally I try to just take the points at the end just in case if it's a close game, or even if it's even if the Bears are up 10, you got a backdoor cover. It's completely possible. So right. I just think if when in doubt, you take the points. So I think I have a small lean on Philly. Don't feel great about it.
The problem with the backdoor cover for the Eagles is if Nate Foles is taking shots, the Bears have a pretty good scoring defense. So they could take a pick six and make it a 10-point game into a 17-point game really quickly towards the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, if you're at a 10-point game anyways, you're going to lose if they don't score. So I don't care if you lose by 17 or 10, but I'm just saying as another added benefit, you have a shot at a backdoor cover. I wouldn't say I'm not counting on that. I'm not hoping for it, but I just think I'm a little torn on it, and I don't feel great about this game. So I'm taking almost a touchdown. I'm taking the 6.5. I don't love it as much as the other games, but
Eddie Jackson's questionable, which could be
that hurts. Eddie Jackson's really good. I mean, they still have a great D, but Eddie Jackson would be a big deal.
And the Eagles have a couple injuries. I don't know if what's his name, Kelsey and Peters have been out for a while.
I think they're playing. I didn't see anything about them not playing.
They're both questionable. Maddox, cornerback, is questionable. Smallwood's questionable.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't really used Smallwood.
But those other O-line guys could be big.
I don't see anything on Roto-World about it.
You also have Khalil Mack, who's in a playoff game for the first time. Oh, no, it's not his first playoff game, but, he's going to be pumped up.
Yeah, no. And the Bears' defense in general, it's so good everywhere. Every position. They have a great line. They have a great pass rush. They have great safeties. They have really solid corners. They have really no weakness on it. Great linebackers.
I kind of lean the Bears, but I don't. As the one of the favorites I like this weekend, I think the Bears will just not make it. Could be I could see a 31-10 type game.
You really think they kill them? I think it's possible. I think it's in the range of outcomes. I think the Eagles have experience and they have kind of nothing to lose. And they've I think it'll be closer. I don't think the Eagles win. I think the Bears are better. I agree. I'm kind of torn on the number. So that's why, like I said, that's why I was taking the dog, I guess.
You could have even made it a 6.5, 7 point.
It is 6.5.
I mean, you could have even got to 7 and they still probably
even the defending champs getting 7 it seems a little high to me. But I mean, it's possible. I would have been nice. I think. I think at that point, it's hard not to take the Eagles. I'm torn at 6.5. At 7, I think I'd lean the Eagles. I think the Bears are better, and I think they win. I just don't think 7 points is a lot if it was that.
So, and the other interesting thing with all these small toss-up lines is that all favorites are tough. They make it tough to tease them. So a lot of people who like to do teasers.
Why would you tease the favorites in this? There's no reason. You're going past.
The lines make it the -2, -1.5. It makes you doesn't want it. It's not in your best interest to tease a favorite through 0. So you're gonna tease Dallas from -2 to +2.5 or +3 is okay, but Houston from -1 to plus.
I think a lot of the public's on the dogs, so they'd be teasing Seattle from +2 and Indy from +1 more. I don't think. I think that would be more popular. But I could be wrong. But that's what it seems like to me. That
But even if you do tease the Colts, you're only getting them to what, 6?
The Colts are 1, but it's a 7.
Yeah,
right?
7. So that could be a Colts +7, Seattle +7 could be a pretty
Seattle State. That's even better. I think that's what I do if I was doing a teaser, and I think that's what people would do.
That's going to be the popular play.
I guarantee one of these games is going to be like it won't be close. I just don't even know which one it's going to be.
Yeah, either Houston or Dallas is going to blow out their opponent.
I could see that happening. Like I said, I think that's why I'm taking the home teams here. I think someone at home could definitely win, but I wouldn't feel great. To me, these games all feel close. I'm sure one will be like a double-digit win. So I don't know.
Houston, just because they're just getting no love. And if they get enough pressure on Luck, he could have one of his classic Luck 4 interception games.
Luck had a couple bad road games against the Jags. I mean, the Jags have a really good D. Houston's D is all right too, though. But the Luck, they have not been as good on the road like Seattle. So that's why I was just thinking when you're getting a toss up, take the home team there when it's pretty much a toss up. It seems like to me.
Yeah.
Good week though. I'm pretty excited. Should be a good slate. Really pumped for the playoffs. Should be really wide open. I don't know who's going to win. It could be anyone. Should be fun.
Yeah. So on that note, good luck this week. Enjoy the playoffs. Yep. And go get it. Find us at Gorbachev Kman on Twitter. Videos are posted, and we're up online. Send in your tweets, send in your mails, and good luck this week. Later. Thanks, Dunkin' Donuts, macchiatos, donuts, munchkins.